Last night was a change a little bit. So we're going to come back to what we are in the midst of it. Did you get the topic?
No, yeah, is it verbal abuse, part 4 or part 3?
Part 4.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. We're still going to deal with something they call APD. APD means abusive personality disorder. Yeah. And people get very much mixed up because why? The image in public that these people have is totally different of their behavior in the private life. You see two different people. Many times they holding very important jobs, powerful ones, influential ones, or they're serving the public with full force. They have open hand, large, with a big heart. And if you're going to see them from the outside, they're very normal and very friendly. Very friendly. If somebody is looking only from the outside, will never be able to imagine to himself that the person who stands next to him is a sick and he is a mental case. You will never believe that. So if you don't know what you're dealing with, so many times you're giving advice to the victim, to give in. You have to communicate with him in order to make the relationship better than not even catching, and they cannot catch. There is no hope in order to try to communicate with this kind of a person, because it's impossible. It's impossible. Because they answer you back so not to the point. Not making any sense. Until the person that's standing in front of him has no ability to explain him what happened and how does he feel. Whoever is going to try to communicate with them is like a wall, or you feel like you entering a grinding machine. They will grind you. Every time when you want to explain yourself, they will mock you, they'll deny you, they will lie to you, threaten you.
Rabbi, we can't hear you. No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, now we hear
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Did you hear me before, or I was talking to myself?
About 3 minutes back.
Okay, let's go back.
Until you said they will grind you.
Uh-huh. Okay. Every time you want to explain this person how you feel, you're going to find a person that's going to mock you. He will deny what you're saying. He will lie. He will threaten. And he will accuse you. Example, how do you have the guts to talk to me like that? What did I do to you? Here we go. You're starting again with your sensitivity. You're retarded. I'm only trying to help you to get better. I am the real victim. I'm only protecting my rights. Did you hear all these excuses? Huh? Go talk to such a person. Impossible. It's not the words that are painful. The message is a poisonous one. Meaning he wants to tell you, you're crazy, you're disturbed, you are a defect, you're full, and you have no value. That's how a person feels when the other one attacking him says, well, how do you have the guts to talk to me like this? So, the same way that in Ukraine, Chernobyl, when the nuclear, right, exploded, no normal person can say, I didn't get affected by it, right? If you want or if you don't want, it will affect you. All this is called ona'at devarim. This is asur midoraita mamash. Even if the victim will leave the scene, not saying anything quietly, his heart is wounded. The damage was done already. So listen to what the people from the outside saying to the victim. All the good advisors outside. You know, you have to make an effort to satisfy more the one who attacks you. Maybe you don't know how to approach him. They blaming the one who is coming to complain. That's what I have. He says, you're lacking the skills or how to approach him, or how to be softer, to communicate, meaning it's your fault. And many times we heard that the one that giving him advices continue saying to the victim, try to please the one who attacks you more. You know, there is two opinions over here. That's what you feel, but he has also his own opinion. That's what he feels. So now, not enough that she feels bad. Now the one who is taking care of them is saying to her, Behemet, it's your fault. You don't know how to approach. Your approach is too tough. Your approach is this. Meaning he is giving an extra to the abuser to continue to abuse. And the victim going with the feeling, probably I'm the problem. What a terrible thing. The reality is, that's the reality. You cannot satisfy the people that are suffering from APD. Forget it. I'll give you an example, but don't fall off your chair. Sometimes Ima, she having this. She has abusive personality. She's asking her daughter to bring her a cup of tea or water. And when she brought it, she said, what took you so long? Why couldn't you come faster? Why did you use the wrong cup? Why didn't you think, maybe I'm thirsty? Do I have to tell you all the time? Why did you put the cup on the table? Don't you see it left a ring of water on the glass? Why didn't you return the cup after I finished to the kitchen? And if she did it, why didn't you wash the good? This is abusive behavior. And now imagine that you have hundreds interaction like this in the daytime. Then Ima can come to me and say, my daughter, she is hiding in the room. she's not talking, she's quiet all the time, or chutzpanit, she has a chutzpah, she's aggressive, and Ima don't even thinking, why is it happening? Ima don't know that she is the problem. Okay. The truth is that every wife, right? You have to make the best effort that the husband will be satisfied and happy. But what happens if he says, don't kiss the children too much? Why? They're going to be spoiled. Or he comes up with all kinds of, halachot, strict. I don't know where he picked it up, and he wants to implement it at home, and he doesn't care that she is suffering from that. You're too much. So everyone who's going to give her advice, even a professional one, he will tell her, you should go along with your husband. This is what's going to make the relationship better if you're going to listen to what he wants from you. You're just giving her a false hope. In any case, it's not going to help. Even if you do whatever they want, it's not going to help you. Sounds very scary.
Definitely.
Huh?
Definitely, Rav.
Yeah, sounds scary. So now, as a side point, imagine people who never learn this, and they're trying to make a shlom bayit. Adam. Even for us, the people that we learned, we still, we're having some difficulties to figure out what's the case over here. What's the category? Is he doing it bedafka? Is he sick? Is he not sensitive enough? What category we have to put him? A, B, C. Why people who are not shayach to all this, they cannot say, it's not my department. It's not my department. Most of the cases that I get is people that already were there, were here, were there. I'm leaving for the last, option. Why are you coming now? And they said, we tried already everything. What did you try? That's called a try? Chas v'shalom, if you have a cancer, and the doctor told you take a Tylenol, did you try something?
No.
Ah,
No, Tylenol, no, it wouldn't cure it. Doesn't make sense.
that's what happened. We have a cancerous situation. And they said, you know what? Take Tylenol. All the people that are addicted, people that they are addicted to playing cards, gambling. Can you see it on them? They can be very charming, normal. They can laugh at you, they can smile with you, can joke with you, and you think they're great people. But they're sick, addicted. You don't see it. Someone who drinks, you don't see it. There is all kinds of addiction that from the outside you don't see it. So the APD, these people, the one who is standing on the side and watching them, I say, very good people, very nice people. They're normal, sweet. Very few understand how deep is the problem over here.
Harav, they're often also, like you said, successful, but very, very charming to many people. And they can turn the victim against many people.
Yeah.
To say that person, they can slander that person also to destroy their life in some ways.
What do you mean? They're destroying their life.
Mhm.
But they can destroy their life, but they can destroy like their life, their view from other people against them.
They're destroying, not they can do it, they're doing it. So now he is mentally ill. He is disturbed. He is the disturbed one. And he causing to the victims total destruction. And it's so already accepted to blame the victim. Because the society don't put pressure at all on the abusers. They put the pressure on the victim. You have to change your behavior. So now we'll go to the part how can we find out if this is באמת the case? When a person is mentally ill, it can come in many, many faces. There is a mistake, very common one. People think that all these people that they have disorder, they mentally disordered. They have very, very low self-esteem. and they have no self-confidence, and that's why they're doing all this. It's not correct. The reality is, most of them, most of the abusers in different versions, they are suffering from something that is exactly the opposite. He feels that he is above anybody else. And you are nobody. He looking at his wife, he's a husband looking at his wife. He looks at her, but בכלל, why are you talking בכלל? Who are you? Keep quiet. לא, ככה. And he feels about himself that he is on a level. Woo. So we have 4 categories, and we go through them, and we see where it's coming from. Now, there is something in common with all the 4 categories, and this you have to pay attention. They criticizing, but not stam. They can say things that to finish you up. They can criticize other people, how they behave. They're going to do it in a very brutal way. All of these categories, they enjoy to limit, to punish, and to mock without no stoppage on the people that are not able to stand by their expectations, their standards, and to behave according to the laws that they invented. Meaning they have a very, very crooked mind. The mindset is very crooked. They have their own laws, their own categories, they have their own standards, and whoever don't fit to this standard, they're gonna wipe him out. Now there is a category that we call the kapdan. You know what a kapdan is? He has some kind of OCD. Every small thing, he'll pick on you. He wants to give you musar for every small thing. So this kind of a person is cold, very tough, and he is sure that he have to force himself on everybody to follow what he says. Meaning, you put that feeling not on right, you're going to hell. You an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. You're gonna. He'll call you names, you amaretz, you this and that. To the walls. Because this is his view on the musar of the Torah. That's how you have to be. So if it's not going according to his standards, why? He is focusing on details, details, not details. The small details that in every detail. OCD, no? Everything has to be neat. Everything has to be cleaned. Imagine you living in a house with somebody like that. Imagine you have such a person. So now, of course, when it comes to religion, he will drive everybody crazy. No proportion. He will ask his wife or the kids to do way above the Shulchan Aruch, because he has his own Shulchan Aruch. And if you're not going to do it, if he sees that you don't do it, he will mock you. And he say, you're disgusting, you don't know what you're doing. Why? He says, they are sinners and they're reshaim. They're reshaim. I don't know if you saw such people, right? Have you seen such people, right?
Yes.
I know
Ah,
one like that.
for them, if they're gonna see me, they'll call me a rasha. Why? They have their own standards. Whoever is not gonna follow their standards is a rasha. So that's category number one. It has to do a lot with OCD. People who have OCD, they're very close to be abusive. And they have to take care of it immediately. There are pills for that, okay, to come down, and then we can start to talk to him. Okay. Category number two. He thinks that he is a superstar. he is cold, and very much in competition. Jealous in a very radical way. All what you have over here is a status and a level. What you doing? I'm a plumber. He talks Bill Gates and up. If you're not on this league, so now he feels that he have to go above everybody. He should be over here. So a person like that, he demanding from his kids, the family, his wife, to be the most, right, smart ones. His kids, he will kill them. You have to be every test 100, if not. They have to be the smartest one, the richest one. The most influential ones, popular ones. He wants to be all the time very, very, very much noticeable. And above all, the most successful ones. So he has, if you're not gonna go with this path of his, you're dead. That's number 2. Number 3. Dictatorship. By force. Is very brutal, aggressive, and likes to attack. Even he can use his hands. Physical. This kind of people, he is the master and you are the slave. That's how they deal with you. When they appearance, when they are there, everybody will feel not important and even zeros, because he is. Imagine you live with somebody like that. He is the dictator. Yeah, nothing to say. There's no conversation.
And militant.
Militant. Yeah, that's it.
They like war. They like guns. They like.
No, but if you have somebody like that, that you're living with such a person.
I saw a woman who lived with that kind of person.
Quick question, please. How about a child? The child demands only the best, works very hard, very all around person, 18, and the parents are not the way you're explaining parents to be. This young lady demands so much from herself. She's a happy person.
People like that, they cannot be happy. Maybe from the outside, she pretends, but she's not. Because you are always in competition. I have to be the best. I have to be the best. It's impossible.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So now, next to the dictatorship, the dictator, nobody is important. Your opinion, I don't want to hear. You're a soldier. You're a slave. Why are you talking?
I saw the wife of this person that act like a dictator, and I saw the woman learned how to live with that guy. Every Shabbat he invited all his family, and
I
he,
wanted to ask you some questions that Bahrain women ask me from Queens, and they don't go to the Haimoff shul. It just doesn't make sense to me.
it was funny how she learned how to behave with him. So she invited his whole family every Shabbat, and he was dictating to his own family. So his own family told him, what you're doing is not right. So I don't know, slowly it was affecting him. Like he learned how to behave. I remember like many years ago, I used to go to these people's house and I saw this, why the woman inviting the whole family of the husband and
Okay,
the husband was a dictator.
I don't know the case, so I cannot comment.
Sometimes, I mean, the women, sometimes they learn how to deal with it somehow.
If he is abusive, so either he destroyed her totally and she became a zombie.
Or she was a very strong woman. I don't know. I remember in this case.
Strong will punch him back.
Yeah.
Strong will tell him, hey, hello. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, number 4 is a person different from all the 3 of them. He is always in fear. He has an anxiety all the time. No self-confidence at all. And he is very much materialistic and jealous. He suspects his wife all the time. She cheat on him, this on him. And he always looking around him, people that he can, he can attack them and to tell them harsh words. This way he is coming down the feelings that he have, the low self-image that he have, he will come and say, you see, I'm in control. I'm in control. You say, I worth. Something I do worth. So how does he play? Here is the play. He is always the misken. You know what is a misken? He is
Innocent one? Innocent one?
No, he's always the victim. Yeah. I'm innocent and you're taking advantage of me. And sometimes he is forcing things. And he is not stable. You don't know how to read him. One day this way, one day he will mix you up. So you don't know what to expect from this person. Because he have imagination, a wild one, and that's why all the time he has anxiety attacks. He is suspecting everybody. And he is sure that everybody at the end will treat him. They're going to run away from him. So in order for them not to run away, so he has to do what? To limit everybody. Don't think like this because I want you to stay in my square. All the categories that I told you, they suffering from disturbed, emotional, disturbed, a terrible one. Now it's for you. A person who live with somebody like that, don't blame yourself for nothing. Many times I hear people that they say, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's my fault. They're already doing a job that the victim start to feel that he is at fault. If this is how you feel, you will not be able to protect yourself. In this kind of cases, you have to protect yourself with confidence and to be precise. This, I'm not going to tolerate this. No matter what.
You should tell them like what's wrong and I'm not going to take that.
I'm not going to take it from you.
Very seriously.
Yes.
Will they scared of that? That's the
big question.
That's the question, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to remember there is no possibility to satisfy them. No matter what you're going to do, they always will find something to, because that's how they feel they are in control. So there is no way to calm them down.
So these people they're having lack of confidence.
Not necessarily. This how it's inside. It's a sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if sometimes you see them, okay, and they take a break for 2 weeks, a month, and you're starting to have hope. Oh, Ine, here we go. It's starting to change. Then they're going to come back to themselves. Because the brain is So the brain says the people in front of you are no good people. You should tell them this, you should tell them that. They bad influence, this, and his mind is bechlal. We don't understand this because Baruch Hashem, we're not like that.
You just explained somebody in my family. Were you reading my mind?
Maybe, I hope so. Okay. This way they have to justify why they acting so cruel and mean. Example, a parent wants to hit his child and say, "You're a bad boy." Boom. Why did he say, "You bad boy"? No,
Because he can't handle it, so he's portraying it onto the child.
because you bad boy.
So I have to hit you.
Huh?
Because you're a bad boy, I have to hit you.
Yes. So how I have to justify that I hitting you now?
Because he's a bad boy, I have to
Because
hit
you're
you.
bad
It's
boy.
my obligation.
That's it. This is will calm him down because you bad, you deserve it. Because he sees the child as an evil child, as a bad child. So he said, I have to hit him, and I have that justification because he's a bad boy. So it's not my fault. He's calling for this. Do you see how their mind, how it works?
It's twisted.
Totally. They looking something that tastes something twisted and say, you deserve it. And that's only justification for their sickness. And that's how they deal with everybody. Not only the kids, everybody.
Rav,
Yeah,
can I ask a question?
go ahead.
How is it that the person who's abusive could be so normal in a sense to the outside world, but to his spouse or to his children, he could be the most evil person? How is it that he can manipulate so many people, but he can't be nice to his own family? Like,
That's the sickness.
so shouldn't the sickness be across the board, like to
No.
everybody?
That's why they're so dangerous. They're very dangerous.
Wow.
Imagine you're a single girl and you're going out with such a person. And you don't know.
So why does it happen like that? I mean, Hashem created this for a reason, right? Or is it a person? Oh, we don't know.
His neshama is very sick.
Wow. Thank you, Rob.
I hope I don't scare you.
Rabbi, learning Torah would help these cases.
What?
Learning Torah will help these cases.
If the person will admit that he has a problem, yes. But usually they don't want to admit.
Rob, excuse me, is this something they're born with, or is this something that came from a childhood, like parents maybe that were Holocaust survivors or trauma? Where's it coming from?
For sure, he was not born with this.
How is the neshama sick, Rav? Devorah, great question. How is the neshama sick?
We're gonna get to the reasons. That's also part of parenting, yes. You have kids at home. And when the kid is in a trauma, either he can get very cold, or either he can get very, very sensitive and he has an anxiety attack, like the fourth category that I said.
And it can also be a child in a family with other children that this child, sibling that can be like this with another sibling that grows up with it, where you can't like a marriage where you can divorce or separate, can last a lifetime with siblings. And even that child can charm their parents into thinking it's the other sibling.
That's manipulative behavior, which we have to pay attention to. We have a long way to go,
Thank you.
because whatever we see now is an outcome, of, the parents, either they didn't know what they're doing, or they didn't know that it will make such an impact on the children. And sometimes even the parents abusing the child without even knowing what they're doing. Like if Ima have OCD, for example, and nobody will take care of it, she can drive the kids crazy. Like the example that I gave you with the cup of water that she was asking. Why are you so slow for bringing me this water? No, thank you, Bichlal. Right? Why do I have to ask you to bring me? Why can't you figure it out on your own? Yeah? What a demand. Why are you putting it on the table? Don't you see that it made a circle? Why didn't you take it to the kitchen? And if she took it, she said, why didn't you clean it? Enough already.
So Rav, with the OCD comes destructive behavior, like criticism as well? Is that what it is?
OCD is a disorder. It's
Right.
a disorder.
But is it also go with hand in hand with like putting down and things like that?
When you have OCD, whoever is not going to follow your
Like critical, I mean.
very critical, you're going to criticize them, and you're going to think that they're all Reshaim.
Yeah.
It's impossible. You cannot live with a person and have OCD.
So Rav, like Devorah asked before, is OCD also like all these behaviors are learned behaviors, or are they're not like from born with? Like a chemical imbalance or like bipolar, things like that. It's all born. I'm saying it's all learned.
the only thing that we know is, I told you, Ansberger, this you are born with, is some
Right.
kind of autism.
Right.
Yeah. Schizophrenia, you're born with this. And between sociopath, narcissist, yes,
Yes, Rav.
there is some saying yes, some saying no. Okay, it's still in debate. If a person is born with this or it developed it. But abuse, it's devastating.
And that's a learned behavior of, yes?
Huh?
And it's a learned behavior? Wow.
It's an outcome of something. Yes.
Thank you, Rav.
Okay. Okay, רבותיי, so I will see you tomorrow night.
Thank you, Rabbi.
From the Israeli shiur. Tomorrow we're gonna come back to chinuch. Yes,
Thank you,
Okay.
Rav.
I have to give you some time to
Digest.
digest what I say because I can see everybody is so scared.
Rav, is there a 1 o'clock class?
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
yeah, tomorrow,
Oh,
1
good.
o'clock.
Good.
class.
Yes.
Tomorrow day. Thank you, Rav.
Yes. I'll see you tomorrow in Yirtzeh Hashem.
Bezrat
Bezrat Hashem. Thank you, Rabbi.
Rav, I
Have a good
have
night.
one question.
Yes,
Just one question. If, like, let's say you see you explained all the symptoms and all of the things about that person who is abusive, if the children were around, raised around a person like this, do they need therapy or anything?
everybody gonna need therapy.
Even though they're functioning okay, even though they're
We
still
don't-
affected?
We don't know if they are okay. We don't know
Mhm.
when they'll get, because everything will come out when they get married. Then you're gonna see everything.
So wow, it's better to take care of it.
Oh, yes.
Rabbi, you made us think a lot tonight.
What?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
There's a lot to think about, Rabbi, a lot to learn.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Very good.
how much we don't know.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
You too,
Good
Rabbi.
night.
Rav, thank you
Good
so
night,
much.
Rabbi.
See you tomorrow
you.
at 1 o'clock.
Bezrat Hashem. Thank you,
Thank you,
Rav.
Rabbi.
Bezrat Hashem.
Good night.